Well, I ordered this extremely giant heavy hammer strap for the 8110 because I thought we were gonna use this tomorrow, but I don't think we are. That'll come in handy still. I think this van wall goes for the nicest John Deere dealership I've been. I don't know, maybe all the equipment dealerships are like that. Maybe Case in New Holland, I guess I haven't been to many, but it was like, wow, they really staged that stuff, that's nice. But while we're here, I think it'd be cool to take a look at some of the combines. Some of these combines through here are like dealers, I think. I talked to a guy and some of them are customers' combines, so I'm not sure which is which. I gotta check online and kind of see what they have here that's not customers' combines. Somebody tell me what the deal is with all this though. There is like 3 of these giant storage sheds for combines. And man, I wonder how many combines they have in here. It's seriously gotta be over like 100 combines through here. And is it customers that actually just store their combines here over winter, or are they gonna work on these combines? Because there's gotta be, every dealer, it seems like there's probably like 50 combines or 30 combines or something sitting in storage. Does it ever get better than this? Spencer's birthday, landfill.
Smells like Grant's bathroom.
So we need this dump trailer today to move dirt, so we got a bunch of stuff in it from one of my dad's rental houses, so we're gonna dump this all out and then hopefully we can use this dump trailer.
Hopefully we don't get any flat tires from nails.
So we're technically on a mountain of trash that's like 200 foot high.
I think so. So like they're building a new one back there. Morning. How's it going? Not too bad.
Just hammer it back there.
Yeah, it takes some power.
Yeah, it does.
Rock.
Good to go.
They got a Case Quadra.
And another Deere stop. I'm missing one 22mm bolt like this and a nut for the hammer strap. They only had one, so now I gotta go to a different location. So I'm out here kind of checking corn, and the first farm we planted of corn, that stuff came up pretty quick. And then this is the third farm I bought. There's 107 acres here, and we planted this probably 10 days ago. So I'm really curious. We got a nice rain, probably over an inch I would guess here. So this stuff should be coming up. It just hasn't been that warm. I'm surprised not more of this stuff is coming up. It is, it's pretty small here. It's just starting to come up there. So if you guys remember that crossing from last video where the co-op couldn't get across, so we had to take the spreader and get across because it usually stays wet. Well, Spencer went and got a culvert while I went to Deere. And so we got a 20-foot culvert that we're gonna just set down, try to make kind of a nice place for it, and then throw all of our fill dirt over top of it. So right now we're thinking the best way, we have a ton of dirt up here that we're gonna use for fill. We don't really have any kind of back there. So what we're thinking about doing is, it's gonna be kind of a wet and windy road around the fields, like all the way back there. We're just gonna disconnect the dump trailer and probably hook it up to the tractor and just use that instead of using the pickup truck, which is going to be kind of hard on it, getting it all the way back there with that much dirt and stuff. So we're thinking tractor will be a lot easier. So we're going to try and get this done today. I got to get back home in like 6-7 hours. So has anybody else had this problem? I'm trying to figure out where this water is coming from, because this obviously sits outside. There's literally a puddle of water here from the rain. We obviously got a lot of rain. That's inside my tractor. I thought like, oh, maybe it's getting through this hole somehow, but it's not gonna go through that hole all the way over to here. It's gotta be coming a leak somewhere up there. There's a giant puddle. None of this is wet, but yet it's gotta be coming from somewhere up here.
Yeah, it's a little watch.
Third Deere stop, and I think they should have what I need. Okay, here's what we needed. It's for chains on the bottom of the hitch, but it's gonna provide 1.5 inches because our bolts were too long. So this should fix our issue. We have a lot of fill dirt to move. This stuff was digged out of the ditch, and so there are some branches and stuff in it, which probably isn't the best for fill dirt, but we're gonna use it for the bridge crossing to just build up the bridge, because this stuff's just gonna sit here. We're not gonna use it, so you're thinking, what are you thinking? Dig all this out?
Not too much, just a little bit.
Okay.
And maybe start getting the water to get out of here so it's easier to work with.
Yeah, that'll work good. Almost had you on camera. This is probably gonna create a swamp down here. So eventually, the river's right there. We just gotta figure out a way to get it to the river. We could probably scooch it a little bit your way yet. That works pretty slick. The only thing is that you are up on the hill with a tractor and you're trying to back up, then slam on the brakes, then pull forward and stuff. And I'm definitely not an expert tractor driver yet, but that should make you a better one. There the man goes. It looks like we only have like 2 more loads left. 2 more trailer loads left. Not bad. We got most of everything done for the time we have. I got to get going to get back because I have a meeting tonight, and we still have a couple more loads of dirt we got to move yet, and then our bridge, our so-called bridge, should be done here. It's been really muddy though. And it's been raining for probably like the past 2 weeks. And I really haven't checked out any of the crops. The first 85 acres I planted, that was coming up good. The second 107 acre farm, stuff should have been up when I checked it a week ago. It wasn't really coming up and that was slow. So I haven't checked it since. I'm curious to see if that corn's coming up. Cause it's a little scary first time planting and not seeing corn come up. So I need to go check that out. So we're gonna move the skiller out of the way, get the ATV out, and I'm gonna go try to drive around the field and check everything to make sure I planted corn in the right spots too. Like I said, it's been raining for like the past 2 weeks and it is extremely wet out, and it's gonna be sprinkling on today, so we're gonna get wet, and I just got to get out here and actually take a look at the crop and get a stand count. It's been so wet recently. We've got a slow leak in the ATV tire, so I don't have electricity, so I'm gonna run over to the neighbors and fill up that tire. So we're gonna do a stand count of these soybeans that we no-tilled. And how far do you want to go?
We're gonna go 17 feet 6 inches.
17 feet 6 inches. So 1/1000th of an acre.
So what we'll do is we'll count the plants. So soybeans, it's a lot of plants. Corn, it's really easy. It's about, hopefully you're gonna be somewhere between 32,000 to 36,000, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Bean wise, we're shooting for anything over 100,000.
Okay.
So
now I planted these at 140,000, but probably won't get the best stand.
No-till, they normally say no-till you lose 10%.
Okay.
And then just with the way this year was, there wasn't a lot of moisture when we put these in.
Yep.
We got a lot of rains. I'm guessing we're probably going to be, everything I've seen so far is 100,000 to 120, 125.
Okay, here we go. So you count them each individually.
Yep. And so what I like, so like this guy right here, we hope he comes, but we don't know if he's going to.
Okay.
So as of right now, I'm just going to look at the ones that are open right here.
So one thing I just learned is these grow from the ground up. Like they start growing right here, right?
Correct.
But corn grows in the ground.
Yes.
Okay.
So soybean, as you can see, if you can see from this little tiny seed here, so this guy didn't grow or didn't make it. He might have been on top of the ground, he might have been dry soil, who knows. But so right here, there will be a mesocotyl. Anyways, it'll pop out and it pushes this soybean, and that's what it's doing right here, is it's pulling these out of the ground. They open up, or these out of the ground, they open up. That's what these are. Start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12. It's about 12, 13. So
112, 113, you just take that times 1,000.
take that times 1,000, that gives you how many, yeah, that gives you how many plants are out there. So yeah, so this would be, you'd have 112, 113,000 plants per acre. So that's just a rough estimate of what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Another thing to look at when you're looking at stand counts is, and always look around you too, is do you see any noticeable gaps? And are they consistent or are they not consistent?
Okay. And you're saying that would probably be planter issues?
Planter issues,
Okay.
it can come back to multiple different things. You know, you could have insects, you could have different feeding, but if you have inconsistency in stand, that's when you lose yield.
Okay,
As long as
okay.
you know, I don't see any major gaps.
Yep.
You've got really good push here, 30-inch rows. Normally they come right out of the ground. Everything looks really good. I'm
Okay.
really happy.
Now, I'm trying to think. Some of this, we might have taken the trailer over, skid steer a little bit. There's not too much compaction here, but what affects it more, soybeans or corn compaction?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Or is it equal? Is there one crop that compaction just destroys? Or is it both pretty much?
It's tough. Soybeans don't like compaction as they're coming out of the ground, and to get out of the ground, I mean, you can see up there, I mean, we lost a bunch of stand. Corn normally can get the root base down, but you'll see corn, I mean, it'll come up, but it normally won't put an ear on it, or it'll put a little small ear on it.
Okay,
But
okay.
it normally stunts corn quite a bit.
Hey, all right. The seed salesman's giving me a courtesy ride over to the next field.
It cost you $50.
So this is gonna be the creek bottom farm we're going into. The only bad thing about this is there's a B road, probably about half a mile down here, that just gets super muddy and it's tough to go to get to it. So when we're combining in the fall and stuff, if it's a little wet, it's gonna be rough kind of getting in and out. But I guess if it's wet here, you wouldn't be combining out there, so not a big deal. Wow, that whole, Jesus. Yeah, that whole row is, it planted, but all these are just really behind.
I'm guessing maybe, I don't know.
Do you think it was a planter, maybe something caught up in the row cleaner or something? Or
This was a wet spot. The field cultivator went deep, the planter went deep, and it's deeper than we think. Let's pop one of these up.
Okay.
And just kind of see what.
So here's what we're looking at. We got two nice rows, and then this middle row down here. These plants are just tiny. They're coming up here.
See how wet it is down there, and you can tell there's a compaction layer. You know, this is nice, and you can pinch this all day long.
Yeah.
And this is just hard as a rock.
Huh.
So, but I don't think we're too deep by any means. I just think we probably either got a compacted layer, or, you know, typically if it's compacted, it means that the top was fluffed up and it was dry.
Yep.
So it could have been sitting in dry dirt.
Okay. So we're doing a competition between Whiffles and Pioneer on this. I planted with a 12-row planter, 6 of the rows. Sorry, you guys are probably a little dirty. 6 of the rows was Whiffles, and 6 of the rows was Pioneer.
So I'm gonna go right here in the middle. I'm gonna put my trowel in. My boot's like 13, so I'm gonna go 16, and then I'm gonna do a half.
Okay.
That should get us close. Even if we do keep the same length, we'll know our population. Close.
Okay. 3, 5, 6, 7. What'd you get?
So my row came up with 30, and then I did this one. This one came up to 32.5.
Okay.
33.
I came to 31, not including this one.
Okay, so actually we're pretty close row to row.
31. I'll do this row.
Okay. And the other thing is If it's wet, you're gonna drown some out. If it's dry, you're gonna wish you had, you know.
So average year with this stand, what do you think? If you had to guess the 1197 yield come October, what is it?
At 30,000 or at 31,000?
Yep.
I'd say pretty easily. I mean, we could get 240 down here.
Oh wow.
The week.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that.
Okay, I better start contracting bushels. These little beans seem to be coming through just fine. Actually, they seem to be coming through really good actually on this stuff. I'm so shocked. There's a couple areas. So when me and John went over it, we had I tried planting 140,000 population here, and when we were counting different areas, we were getting about 110,000 coming up through the ground. So that's not bad. This is like, it's good. It's good. We're not gonna have to replant it all. I was a little worried about this, but this is good. Kind of get to see this in action. It's drained water. I need to kind of clean some of this out because there's probably some water sitting in here, but it's that way we can just lay some rock here, and this is going to be pretty easy to drive over. And probably the one time we need to drive over it in the summer, the sprayer guy, he's not going to have any issues. He's not going to be calling me like, hey, I can't get through here, so we should be good. Okay, this farm's the first one I planted like ever, and I'm really watching this farm because this farm is coming up real good. Me and John didn't do a stand count here, so we're gonna get a stand count done here, see what it's like. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A couple there lay behind. 7, 8, 30, 31, 32, 33. Sweet, that's pretty good. I'll count another road here. I planted this at 33,000, so that'd be perfect. There were a couple that were a little close together, so technically maybe you don't count those. This is the first pass I ever did, and I know we had issues with one row. There it is. I think we got it solved after this pass though, so. If you guys have one row for 20 or 30 feet, those who farm, just quick question, do you guys come back and just plant that with like a little hand planter or something? I know I'm gonna get a ton of answers in the comments, but seriously, like, look at all the combines. It's gotta be some type of storage system where, it's probably a thing, I should just look on their website, but where John Deere just stores the farmer's combines. It's gotta be. So like right there is an S550, which is like perfect size. I don't know what class, I would assume that'd be like a class 5 combine most likely. But that is way too new for what I need, so that'd be like perfect size though, I feel like. I'm no like Machinery Pete Jr. or anything, but from what I can kind of tell and what I've like looked on some forums is that you can kind of get pretty good value by just buying a bigger used combine. It seems like there's no real price differences between a big combine like a class 7 and like a class 5. So it would, even though I'm a tiny farmer, it seems like it would be kind of smart to get a bigger combine. The only thing is you can't, it's really tough to run a 6-row head and then have duals on the front. So I need to be staying with a smaller combine, but I swear, part of the fun, I don't know, kind of buying anything is just the searching process. That's honestly the fun part. Some people hate it, but I think it's fun. It kind of sucks when you end up buying it. There's a private combine for sale. That's an older gentleman retiring. And so tomorrow I'm gonna go look at that. And it's kind of a perfect combine right up my alley. I'm not gonna say what it is, but you guys will see it in the next video, if that makes sense. So, but anyways guys, thanks for watching this video. And it was probably all over the place, but seriously, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.